Good morning, welcome back to Life of Dave. It's another Tuesday morning, 7th of March, and we're back down the boat. Let's see what we can do today. So last time I was down, we removed all the bolts out of the window, removed the light off the outside, the screws that were all sticking through. So I'll get in with a sander, clean this lot up. So I'm probably going to have to recore these holes with a drill, clean them out, give it some fresh fiberglass for the fillet to bite to, and then I can glass it all over. And seal that lot up, get this all glassed in. However, I did glue some plastic on there to stop water getting through, so I put a line of silicone across the top and a sheet of plastic down so that it couldn't get water in. However, I've come in this morning and we have water sitting just under here. Not loads, there's not loads of water got in, but water has definitely got in. There's a drip there, so it must have come through this top lip on the window. There's nowhere else it can come through. It can't come through the deck. That's all been glassed up, then cored, then glassed again. Yeah, so there's no way we've got water coming through there. No way at all. It's triply layered up. So it must have come through the window there, which, I mean, I've removed all the bolts along the window. So they are only held in by the silicone. So if the silicone starts separating, it's going to leak. I have got a sheet of plastic, which someone gave us, a nice old boat cover. It's got a few holes in, but if I double it over and all the rest of it, I should be able to lay that across the top underneath my other cover, and it will give me a bit more protection. So hopefully that will help just keep the water out, because eventually I'm going to have to pop these windows out completely to do the outside. I've left them in for now just to keep the weather out, basically. Ideally, if I had a shed, you know, I could put the boat in, strip it right out, windows and all. You know, it would have made working on it a lot easier, but I haven't. So we're down the boatyard. Everything's got to be kept in the boat, you know, and the boat's got to be kept dry inside. So I've got to leave the windows in for now. That's going to be a last minute thing. Take the windows out, sort out the bodywork on the outside, you know, pop the windows out and finish it off, and then, you know, get it all painted and get the windows back in. Or new windows, these ones are knackered. So, anyway, right, we're going to get on and see what we can do today. Dry this lot out, seal it up. I'll probably put some more silicone down the window on the outside just to keep the water out of there. And I'll sort that cover out today if I get a chance, and pop that over the top as well, because last thing I want is this filling up with water. Water getting in under the seats like it did before, and then I'm going to have, you know, damp, mouldy conditions. You know, it's not good. Right, anyway, so it's a small amount of water. I've looked under the seats, there's no water under there, so, you know, we haven't been flooded. It's not had a deluge, it's just a few drips that have got in, but I don't want that, so we'll have to sort that out. Right, that's enough waffle. I'm going to see what we can get done today. I'll finish my coffee, get my drill out, clean that lot up, and we're going to probably get the grinder out, take off the back of the rivets, probably see if we can smack them out. If we can't, yeah, we'll have to drill them out or something, you know, drill around them, pop them out. They've got to go. So there's a little cleat on the outside, it's got to come off. So yeah, we'll remove any clips and cleats that are riveted through there. If I get some new ones, I'll probably screw them on, but we'll use appropriate length screws that ain't going to pop through. So okay, so I've just fitted my second cover on the outside. So it's like a clearish cover, but it's about tripled over really. It's about 3 or 4 layers. It's folded up. It's a huge sheet, and it's folded into half and half again, sort of thing. Like, you know, so it's about 4 layers there. So let's cut the light down in here a wee bit, but I can still flip the front back with the other cover. It's a little bit stiff to fold, but you know, I can let a little bit of light in through the front, but it will keep the sides covered, and hopefully that will stop me getting water in. It don't quite pull up to the top here, so I might have to yank it up a wee bit further when I'm done, sort of thing. Like, but at the moment what I want to do is just get these bolts out of here, remove the screws, and do the same on this side. Then I can install the cover where I want it, and I ain't got to take all the straps off to do it again. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a look at this side. Get all these nuts and bolts out of here. I'm not going to film everything I do today because basically I've got so much editing to do. I had a problem with the editing program I was using. Absolutely rubbish it was. Generally, it worked really well, you know, done the job and all that, but it kept like lagging. You'd get that circle going round in circles. So you start editing the video, you know, and you could be a few minutes in, you know, or 20 minutes in, you know, and then suddenly you'd stop. You try to go backwards to clip it and delete a section, and then it'd just like freeze and start doing this thinking stuff, like, you know. It just drove me nuts in the end. You know, it was free to use, and then I upgraded and I paid, wasn't a lot, only about £5 for a year's subscription. But I paid for this subscription, and it said you know, basically you can get your music and bits and pieces and all that with it. So I paid for that, and I got the music with it and all that. And to be honest, I didn't find I got anything really more than I could do originally on the free version. And I thought, oh, you know, maybe it'll be better. But it was exactly the same app, just, you know, hardly any real difference, and it just kept glitching and freezing, and it just drove me blooming nuts in the end. So I've got another app, and I've been editing with that, and to be honest, that doesn't glitch and freeze. I can swipe backwards and forwards, you know, and it doesn't glitch and freeze at all. It's fantastic. However, I've now found another issue with that, is if you're editing, you clip it, so get your section, clip it, delete that section, and you think, oh, and you play it back, you think, oh, hang on, that don't really work, I want to put that back in. You reinsert it, and it comes up, it's black. So now it plays up to the clip, and then there's a black bit, nothing happens, and then it continues. It doesn't reinstall the clip properly, and sometimes it'll reinstall it and you'll get sound but no pictures. And then what happens if you do all the rest of the video? You could have been editing for an hour, you know, to get half-hour, 20-minute video, and you do all that work, and you get to the end and you click export, not to finish it, and it won't finish. It won't do it. It gets halfway through to the point where that is, and it just comes to a stop. So now you've done all that work for nothing, and I've not found out to sort it out. The only way I've sorted it is delete the whole thing and start again. And yeah, that's just frustrating. That is, you know, spent all day flaming trying to sort stuff out and edit videos and all the rest of it, and then in the evening have to delete the damn thing. It's yeah, not happy at all. So I've just swapped one irritation for another now, and you never know when it's going to do it. So I need to find a decent editing app that don't wind me up and that works, because there's nothing more frustrating than doing all that blooming work and it's a waste of time. You've got to delete it and start again. Coupled with the fact I've got videos backing up left, right and centre, and they fill up my phone, so I'm only using my phone to do all this, and my phone is getting full. So what I'm having to do is do it, edit it, sort it all out, and then delete it all. It's backed up on the cloud, but even that's a pain to try and get them back from the cloud if you need anything. You know, that drives you nuts. Alright, so I'm just trying to break the silicone loose on these. They actually all undone quite nicely, so they're all glued in and sealed. I want to get the bolts moving, get the silicone loose and push the bolts out rather than letting it. I don't want it to pop the window, because at the moment the window's sealed, so it won't let water in. Let's go outside, we'll have a look at that, take these screws out, take these rivets off, and drill the outside off, grind the inside off, and then whack it out. If they won't whack out, then I'll have to drill around and make a bigger hole. Okay, so we're good to go on that side. So I'll need a bit of cleaning up on there, get the grinder out, touch up with a few little bits, drill out all the holes. And I've ripped this side out as well, so I can grind off. There's a couple of rivets there. I've drilled them from the outside, The screws are out of there and the lamp's out, so I've got no wiring in there. So I'll take all them off, grind this area here to clean that up so it's not all flaky. Drill out the holes on here as well, and then I can fill the holes so that we don't get any water coming through them. That's the main thing, is to keep the boat dry inside. I've put a little bit more seal around the windows, and I've got the extra cover on there as well, as you can see. So that hopefully will keep all the water out. I've peeled it back on the front to let in a bit of light. So open the curtains basically. Hopefully if it stays there, it's quite thick, it's quite hard to fold it back compared to the other cover that was on there, but hopefully it's waterproof, so it will keep it nice and dry in here as well. Right, I'm going to crack on. I've got to get the hoover out, clear up some dust and the water out of there, and get the grinder out. So I'm hoping I can run the hoover and the grinder to keep some of the dust down. Just helps being able to see and breathe, you know. So it's my little dust extractor. Nice little thing. It was only about 40 quid, I think it was. It's a wet and dry vac off of eBay. So when I get water in the boat or anything like that, I can suck it all up with that. Great for use at home and down the boat and working, whatever you're doing. Right, let's crack on and get something done. I can't film me grinding because the dust is just astronomical. Even using the hoover, it's just going to go everywhere. So I'm going to get on, get these cleaned up. I'll come back on, drill them out, clean up the holes, finish off and all that. But let's get grinding for a second and make some mess. So I decided, whilst I've got the grinder out today, I'm not going to worry about getting this glass. I'm just going to get all the grinding done because it's a dusty, horrible, dirty job. So I've ground all these out, tapered them down. I've tapered the hole in, so I've dished it out on each of the holes. Same up there. Dished all these out, ground off the rivets. I still need to whack them out and then I can plug the holes. I've got to drill all the holes out. I've done the same this side as well. But I thought, well, I've got the grinder out. I've just been over the whole surface on here. It's left it, you know, it's rough because I've ground it, but it's got rid of all the loose crud that's got to go. So that's ready now. I can run over with a sander and just smooth it off a bit. A little skim and a glass it up, same as the other side. Well, I decided, whilst I've got the grinder in my hand, all this needs to be ground off. This is all loose, flaky paint. It's all got to be ground off. All this. Same as I've done here and for the rest of it. So I've gone into the corners there and this little bit here. So I'm just going to start working my way round. I figured, what's the point of finishing all the rest of it and then getting the grinder out covering everything in dust? So I might as well get the grinding done now. You know, today, do it all. I'm going to clean all that lot up, do as much as I can today and get all that prepped. Then it's ready to move forward. You know, I ain't got to sit there thinking, oh, I've still got that to do, I've still got that to do, I've still got that to do. I'll just get it done. So that's the plan today. I've ground this off. I can run the sander over that and smooth it, you know, but it's quite a heavy, very heavy cloth, so I've used the grinder to initiate that. I've got to run it into that corner, that little edge, all the way along there. But yeah, we've got lots to do, and again, I'll probably CSM the surface to stabilise it, and then get it gel coated. Got my block stuck in. I've got a couple to stick at the sides here, each side, and that will allow me to fix my wood up there. So we're nearly done. If I can get this bit done and sorted, all ground off and cleaned up, that's ready for glassing. I can glass that side, get all that done and gel coat it. You know, that's a huge lump out the way then that I ain't got to worry about. This is ready for gel coating, but I've got to finish the other side. So, you know, it's a dusty day. Like I say, I've got loads of videos to edit, so there's not much point me recording anymore. I just ain't going to get time to edit them, and I'm just getting behind weeks and weeks and weeks now. So I might as well get done what I can with the cleaning up. I'll get it all cleaned up, ready to go, because all that's got to be done right up there. Clean all this up, all that, look, flaky bits everywhere. So it's all got to go. So once I've done that, you know, I ain't got to keep looking at it thinking, I've got to do that, I've got to do that, I've got to do that. That's my plan anyway. So enough waffle, guys. I've just been letting the dust settle for a bit. I've got the hoover running. I'm running the hoover and the grinder so it sucks some of the dust out.
I thought I'll just let it settle down for a second and then carry on. Don't want to be breathing too much of this crud in, so yeah, I've got my mask on tight, but yeah, there's a lot of dust in the air, so I'm doing a little bit, let it settle, do a bit, let it settle, keeping the hoover running while I'm working. Right, I'm going to carry on, get some of this done, and I'll come back later. Bye for now.
Just had a little stop for lunch, quite a long stop for lunch actually, bit of chatting. Back over, I'm going to get a little bit more of this grinding done. Real dusty, takes quite a while to do, you know, you have to keep stopping, let the dust settle and then carry on again. So for now, I'm going to concentrate on getting as much of this done as I can whilst I'm making the mess. Get as much done today as I can, that's the plan. And then next time I come down, hopefully I can get on with some glassing and fill in the bits and pieces. We'll fill and drill all the holes out and get all that cleaned up and ready for glassing, and the same that side. But yeah, for now I just want to get as much of this cleaned up as I can, so I'm going to carry on with a bit of that and then I'm out of here and school run. Right, let's crack on.
Okay, so quick report then. Today I managed to grind all this. I've ground all the top all the way along to the other side and grinded that off as well. So any little loose bits that have been taken off now, you know, it's about as good as I'm going to get it without grinding into the glass and chopping holes through here, there and everywhere. He's removed all the loose stuff. I will have to just go round with a bit of paper and get into a few little corners where the grinder won't touch, obviously. There's a couple of little pinholes in the glass here and there that I've seen. So I think we'll get it all cleaned up, paper it round, clean it all up, acetone it all off, and then probably give it a little smear of filler and then glass it. Preferably, ideally, smear of filler and glass it wet, you know. So put the filler on, let it flash off for a bit, put the glass on, straight over the top, wet on wet, and that can all go off as one then. That way I won't get air voids in it. Yeah, so that's the plan. I've got a couple of screws to remove out the screen on this side. Excuse me. This side I've been done. This side I've got 2 screws left. I do believe, if I remember rightly, they wouldn't budge. So I'm probably going to have to drill them to get them out. Then fill the holes and blah, 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 and all the rest of it. But yeah, so today all I've done is grinding. Lots and lots of grinding. Loads of dust. Can't film it. I'm absolutely covered. That's me. I'm assuming I look like a snowman. So the only thing left to grind now is a couple of little bits up here where it's all gone hairy. This glass did not like bending around there, so I was going to grind this out, redo it with some CSM. I mean, there's basically a void behind there. I mean, it's solid. I could leave it. It's only the hatch area. It is glass. This is all glassed. And then I battened it with some wood and glassed that in, yes, one thing after another. So there's lots of bits that need grinding off to just finish this off and clean it all up. Smooth all this out, lose all that. Most of this will be cut out for the hatch to go in. But yeah, so the plan was to grind this out, smooth it all off, and then re-glass this area. But again, I don't want to come down here too far and then have to transition it into this again. I don't want to line on the underside. I want the joint to be on this side. I wanted it in one piece, but it didn't blooming work, did it? So this side, there was a couple of little voids there I've ground out. So I'll just improve them. That's going to need filling and then glassing. I can't glass over it like that. Again, that'll be voids. But we're nearly there anyway. Alright, I've got a couple of minutes on my way out of here, so I'm just going to do a quick grind and see what that comes off like. And then I've got to go. Okay, that's me done for today. So we've managed to grind all the sides, all across the top and all down that side. So that's ready for prepping and glassing. There's still a lot of work with the prepping, but you know. So coming back from here, I've ground this out so we can get some filler into there. I've ground this out so we can get some filler into there, and that's ready to glass over there. I've still got to take this down a little bit, blend this off back into the glass. I don't want that edge because we're going to wrap some new glass around there onto there and stick that onto there. So we'll get some filler in and glass it. I've still got a lot more cleaning up, and I've got to do the sides yet as well. But that's just attacked one side of it. Thought I'd have a look and see how easy that comes off, and that's not too bad. The glass is pretty tough, So I think it's more than solid enough what's there. I could leave this, but I can see there's a void there, so I'm not happy with it. I will grind that out, refill it, re-glass it, and get that all done all the way round. I don't think the front's voided because this was a lesser angle. I tapered this back, this front section. These are a little bit steeper, so the glass had to bend more to conform, and it didn't like it. It peeled away. But we're getting there. I've got a lot of this prep work done today. I thought, whilst I'm doing it, let's just get all the prep work done. You know, that's hours of grinding that I've had to do just to get that lot sorted. But it's been a job that I've been putting off and doing little bits here and there. And I thought, you know what? Today I'm just going to hit it. I'm covered in dust. Let's just get it done. So I've managed to grind all that off. You know, so I'm really pleased with today. I haven't moved forward with anything practically glass-wise or anything, but I've moved forward a heaps in terms of losing the crud that's got to be done. Yeah, so next time, like I say, bit of fairing, bit of drilling, filling the holes, glassy, glass all of that, and that's another big chunk done. Rockers are all done for now. I need a little bit of fairing compound just in that front corner still, but that'll be when I mix some up next. I'm not going to mix it up just to do that, but yeah, this side's pretty much there. Once I get that glassed in, I'll fair that in, probably spread a little bit down there, you know, just make sure everything fits nice. We've still got to sand these off and underneath, but yeah, my tool should turn up today for sanding under there, so I'll be able to do that hopefully next week. But for now, I'm just going to concentrate on getting everything cleaned up, getting this all removed, get all this cleaned, you know, everything ground back and ready to work on. Yeah, I thought I'll have a couple of days down here doing all the messy, dusty grinding and sanding, getting all the prep work done, and then when I come round to doing this side, it's all going to be prepped and done, you know. And then, well, I can start glassing. I can glass that. I can glass that. I can glass that. You know, I'll just get everything done then. So that's my plan anyway. Lots of prep work. Unfortunately, can't really show it on camera due to the dust and noise. Right, that's me done. Thank you very much for watching Life of Dave, and I will catch you all another time. Bye for now.